there are beds of oysters so large and thick they rise from the river like islands. The oysters there be in whole banks and beds, and those are the best I have seen, some 13 inches long.
When the first settlers arrived on these shores 400 years ago, they were astounded by the size and abundance of oysters found in the Lynnhaven River.
However, development and growth eventually took its toll on the river, and pollution kept watermen away for several generations. So the question was asked, could history repeat itself?
In a word, yes.
And we have just recently celebrated the opening of almost 29% of the river to shellfish harvest for the first time for some areas since 1930.
Karen Forget is Executive Director of Lynnhaven River Now, a nonprofit grassroots group organized in 2002 for a simple purpose.
With the goal or the challenge that by the year 2007 we would be able to eat an oyster out of the Lynnhaven and live to talk about it.
High levels of bacteria and other pollutants had closed the Lynnhaven to oystering for decades. But in November of 2007, the Virginia Department of Health okayed shellfish harvesting in more than 1,400 acres.
I think the major reason for the success of this effort to restore the Lynnhaven is the combined efforts of lots of people.
From the beginning, Lynnhaven River Now reached out to groups like the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Virginia Institute of Marine Sciences, and the Virginia Beach City Government.
In some respects, I think it's a project whose time has come. I think people are becoming more and more aware of the environment they live in.
And that environment is large. The Lynnhaven watershed is roughly 54 square miles and is home to more than half the city's population.
Things like this can be turned around just because you've got a lot of development within the Lynnhaven drainage basin. Doesn't mean that just by our presence here, the basin is doomed. I think you can make a difference by just getting people to understand, the environmental importance of what they do.
And getting them to understand required education, funding, and legislation. Water-friendly landscaping practices were promoted to homeowners and lawn care professionals. Pet owners were encouraged to clean up after their animals. Dozens of acres of new oyster reefs were built in the river, and the city established the Lynnhaven as a no-discharge zone, which resulted in remarkable water quality improvements.
After this first summer of the no-discharge zone, it's made a big difference in bacteria levels.
And everyone will be pitching in to help the rest of the river. A stormwater utility fee is part of each water bill, funds that are used for water quality projects throughout the city.
And at $65 per household per year, city officials think that those fees are a small price to pay for a healthy environment.
This is not an industrial city. You have no industrial giants. You have people. And, people want to think they're good stewards of the environment. They really do. Nobody wants to think that they're the bad guy.
For In the Works, I'm Nikki Aceto.